I wanted to take a moment to thank the organizers of today's event. Keith Carlson, who is our special advisor on outreach and engagement, and all of the team that has worked with Keith to help put today's event together. Very much appreciate the work that you've done in giving us this chance to talk about this area of activity, which is so very important to our university. And I'm really privileged to have been asked to speak today about integration in outreach and engagement, and I feel really privileged to do so. I joined the University of Saskatchewan, for those of you who don't know, more than 20 years ago as a community relations officer. That was my first position here at the U of S. And it seemed very obvious to me from the beginning of my work here that the levels of support that the university could expect to enjoy in the broader community would really depend on two things. First of all, an awareness and a recognition in the community about the activities that were underway at the University of Saskatchewan. Seems fairly obvious, but shouldn't be taken for granted. And then secondly, a belief that those activities were relevant and meaningful to the community. I've spent the better part of 2 decades working to raise awareness among the broader community about activities at the University of Saskatchewan and to demonstrate the value of our university's contributions to society. And in the course of doing so, I've been drawn again and again to those examples of outreach and engagement that I believe distinguish this university. The American Association of State Colleges and Universities describes 4 key dimensions of an engaged university. It says that the first engagement is place-related. I heard this once described very eloquently by a previous dean of graduate studies who said that the University of Saskatchewan should be the best in the world at what matters most to Saskatchewan. We talk here at this university about a sense of place, and that's really, I think, what the American Association of State Colleges and Universities is talking about. The association goes on to describe a second dimension, which is interactive. The etymology of the word engage speaks to the intertwining or meshing of entities. What a great way to describe engagement. It's a way to describe the blurring of lines between academy and community, as each become both learners and experts. The third dimension is mutually beneficial. Again, this should go without saying, but unfortunately I think it does need to be said. Otherwise, we run the risk of exploiting our partners in the broader community in the course of furthering our own knowledge without delivering back a meaningful benefit to them. And finally, the fourth dimension is integrated. And that's really what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today. The association says that at the campus level, engagement must permeate all levels of the institution and be integrated into its policies, incentive structures, and priorities. A little bit earlier this morning, we heard from Patty McDougall about the importance of integrating the scholarship of teaching and learning into our policies and our procedures and our incentive structures. And that is true for outreach and engagement as well. At the departmental level, engagement cuts across the imperatives of teaching and scholarship to bring unparalleled opportunities for the entire campus community, faculty, staff, and students. I've spent just about a decade. It has been 10 years for me, not 10 months, in the role that I'm in right now, as a matter of fact, working towards greater integration across the University of Saskatchewan in those areas of the portfolio that I'm responsible for: communications, alumni engagement, development, and now I'm delighted to do the same with the Office of First Nations and Métis engagement and with community outreach and engagement. Some of the ways that we've been doing this have been in place for some period of time. Initiatives like the Senate Roundtable on Outreach and Engagement, the regional advisory councils across our province, our work with the Senate, our work with industry partners are all ways that we can seek to engage members of the community in the work that's happening here at the University of Saskatchewan. As President Bush-Vishniak mentioned, outreach and engagement are nothing new to this university. Our commitment to engaging with the communities we serve is woven into our very foundation. One of the very first things that the province of Saskatchewan did after it was established in 1905 was create this university. The province was formed in 1905, and 2 years later, 1907, they established the University of Saskatchewan. Why would they have done that? And when you look at photographs of this early campus and you see that magnificent collegiate Gothic architecture of the McKinnon building in what was literally bald prairie, nothing around, you can see the kind of vision and ambition that our founders had for this university. And they did this because they believed that a university working in partnership with communities across the province would have a vital impact on the province's future economic and social development. And they were right. I think the evidence is clear. The University of Saskatchewan reaffirmed the importance of community engagement in the document Strategic Directions in 2002. And in that document, we asserted that connections to community, defined as a sense of place, was a distinguishing feature of this university. We saw a strategic advantage for our university in continuing to address the needs and aspirations of Saskatchewan citizens, again, in partnership with them. I could point to numerous instances where collaborations between communities and the University of Saskatchewan have yielded lasting benefit to both parties. I'm sure everyone in this room could do the same. The history of outreach and engagement at our university is a very proud one. But what has, I think, changed over the past decade is a recognition that the ways we engage with communities must also change. Outreach will continue to be an important contribution we can make, but frankly, information is ubiquitous. Whether you live in rural or remote areas, or whether you live in urban centers like Saskatoon, or whether you're right here on campus, information through the internet is available at your fingertips. The solutions to so many difficult problems, though, remain elusive despite this access to information. And this is, I think, where the future of engagement lies. To solve these difficult problems, we need to address them holistically, recognizing that they are complex. We need to work across disciplines, and most importantly, we need to be able to access the information held by communities themselves, whether those be geographic, cultural, or industry-based. I think we need to do a much better job of respecting the capacities that individuals and communities can bring to solving these problems with us. To make assumptions about the contributions potential partners can make to co-creation, whether those assumptions be based on educational attainment levels, or socioeconomic status, or role within an organization, is to close ourselves off from a world of potential. It's a type of short-sighted arrogance that I think limits all of us. Fortunately, we have within our University of Saskatchewan community many individuals who have engaged communities very successfully and who can help to lead the way for the rest of us. 2 years ago, the Provost Committee on Integrated Planning provided funding to support a set of academic innovation initiatives, including an expanded investment in community outreach and Aboriginal engagement, intended to help units to make external partnerships that support our goals in both academic programming and research. Many of you will have heard updates on the accomplishments of the Office of First Nations and Métis engagement at English River during last month's Taking Stock Symposium. I'm particularly pleased with the new website featuring Aboriginal initiatives, as well as the engagement map, which I think is a useful tool for helping us to see who else is working in this sphere and how we might be able to connect with one another. I really do think that both of these tools will help our faculty and our communities to become more aware of existing collaborations that are taking place, and I hope that this will stimulate some thought about new collaborations. Many of you will also have heard an opportunity, or may have had an opportunity, to use the university's space at Station 20 West. This is fantastic space and available to faculty members who are working with communities on issues facing our core neighborhoods. If you want to learn more about this facility, you can visit our website, www.usask.ca/@station20west, pretty easy to find, or you can call the office at 966-1313. But of course, outreach and engagement take place throughout our university. That's a given if we're going to be able to address the big problems of our society by working in a cross-disciplinary way. The very definition of engagement is that it cannot be territorial. And it's the collaborations among unexpected partners in an atmosphere of mutual respect and co-creation that provide some of the most exciting prospects for the future. This, to me, is what integration is all about. It's acknowledging that if I'm ambitious, I want to do great things. But if I am really ambitious, then I recognize that what I want to do is far too great for me to do it alone. So what's next? Well, today you're going to hear more from people who live and breathe engagement as a part of how they go about their work. You're going to hear about some new initiatives designed to put support for engagement into the hands of faculty members who can use them to support their work. And I hope to hear from you on ways that we can strengthen the support we're giving to your work as faculty members in engaging communities in our teaching and research mission. Thank you.